Thank you for joining us. Welcome to LumioseStation.
What's good, LumioseStation? It's CuddleofDeath here. Very happy to woo, and I'm very happy to be bringing you guys a brand new Wi-Fi battle from me. This is actually against a friend of mine, CykeloneTheGhost. His channel will actually be linked in the description. We decided to go with RU, and below I do have a Kricketune, Jolteon, Clawitzer, Steelix, Tyrantrum, and a Mariana, while he has an Audino, a Jellicent, Houndoom, which I was so happy to see him have. Obviously, it's my favorite Pokemon for those of you who are new to me. He also has a Virizion, Bronzong, and a Rotom Fan. I took a very risky decision. I have never tried a team where I've only run one wall, which is obviously my Steelix. It's going to be Mega, you guys will see that. I actually invested into special defense for the EVs for that, and the reason why I decided to throw together this wacky random team, which honestly the team itself is like, you look at it and you're probably like, ugh. I decided to do this just because I know Mega Steelix can already take some physical hits, so go ahead and invest in the special side. That way I can get my rock set up, and of course the Kricketune is actually a Jolly set, so he can be super speedy. He's got the Focus Sash, and that way I can get my sticky webs up, because a lot of people so far that I've battled during this session have not been running spinners or things to just get rid of hazards, so I wanted to take advantage of that. He starts off with his Rotom Fan, which is a pretty predictable lead. I wasn't fearing any of his Pokemon to start with, so I literally would just get a safe sticky web off right there, as you guys can see. The Volt Switch here is not going to do very much, despite Kricketune not having amazing defenses. He definitely doesn't have that, but Diddly Whoop pretty much got what, his use is done. He's done. He's literally done. There's not really much else that he's here for. He's not going to be able to dish out a lot of damage. In fact, he's just going to kick the bucket. He's literally going to kick the bucket. Critical hit, Sludge Bomb. Pretty sure the crit didn't matter at all. Houndoom's a freaking beast. So I go into my crib here, which was one of the reasons why I decided to make a sticky web team, because if you guys don't know, Clawitzer is very slow, same with Tyrantrum, so it's perfect to have sticky webs up. I knew that for the most part, with everything on his team, I could hit anything with a Dark Pulse. And that's what I went for, predicting a switch, and I was correct in predicting that switch, and as you guys can see, I took out his Jellicent right off the get-go. I was also looking for flinches, and if you guys are wondering, I am choice spec, so that's where the massive damage is coming from. I'm also running, I believe it was Modest. I'm definitely running a Modest one. So since he goes into his Audino here, which I was predicting at the time to be a Mega, it's definitely what it is. It is a Mega Audino. So I decided to go into my defensive wall here. My only wall, Snack. Now Snack is a nice little snack. He's a snacky snack. That's really tough to say, but I knew, this Mega Audino was not going to be able to do anything to me. It can't inflict, well, it could inflict some statuses on me, but it's not going to do that. It could do that, but it's not going to have anything really that does a lot of damage. So basically, I'm going to get free rocks up. He does get to go switch back out into his Rotom Fan, which I'm not really fearing all too much, just because I have special defense investments here. I just figured might as well go with it. I'm in a good position right now. I can take some hits. I can take a few hits here. That's alright. That's honestly okay for me. He goes for the Confuse Ray. He confuses my Snack, and I hate hacks. But they're actually really fun to use against other people. And actually, how do you guys feel about getting hacks? Do you rage? Because I know some people that absolutely freaking rage. So he goes for the Thunderbolt. He could have predicted that I was going to switch out my Snack, but I didn't. So I go straight for the Toxic, just to get a little bit of toxic damage going. And still, yeah, there's not really too much that this Rotom can do to me. So he has to withdraw. He has to go ahead and switch out. He ends up going into his Virizion, which is a decent threat to me, but once again, I'm very defensive as it is, even though I'm more on the special side. It's alright, it's okay. So I decide to go ahead and stay in and go for an attack. Unfortunately, Snack decides to attack himself because he's a snacky snack. Virizion goes for the Leaf Blade. It does a fair amount of damage considering I have no defense investments whatsoever. So I get another Toxic off here, which is good for me because Virizion is a scary Pokemon for me. And at this point, I'm willing to sacrifice Snack. I'm definitely willing to sacrifice Snack. And I'm like, can he live another hit? And he does. He gets an EQ off, which I should have just went for a Heavy Slam. I don't know why I went for an EQ, but I went for an EQ. and it did a considerable amount of damage there. So nice decent amount of damage. Braixion's at half health. Finishes off my Sneck finally. So Sneck kicks the bucket. Down goes the battle. Down goes the Sneck. And I'm not really fearing this Braixon anymore because it's slower than pretty much all my Pokemon due to sticky webs. And so I send out Kreb because Kreb is literally the safest switch for me against all of his Pokemon. He could have stayed in predicting like a Dark Pulse, but because he has a Mega Audino, I knew not to go for it. So I kind of predicted the Mega Audino, and I felt like the best thing to go for here would be an Ice Beam, just because it hits all of his Pokemon, and obviously it could get a Freeze, which unfortunately we don't get the Freeze, but I'm alright with just getting a little bit of damage off. So I go out into the Shocker, which is my Jolteon. He goes for a Heal Bell, which, you know, is getting rid of the Toxics that he's got on his team right now. And his Braixon is no longer poison. I went ahead and went for a Thunderbolt, hoping for a Paralysis, which I do get, which makes me super happy. And if you guys are wondering, I am Life Orbed. I could have went for an Air Balloon. I could have even went for an Assault Vest, honestly, which would have been interesting. But I decided to take a risk and go for a Life Orb here. And I know it's kind of bad because, I had 2 or 3 of my Pokemon. Tyrantrum's running a Life Orb, Jolteon's running a Life Orb. I might have a 3rd Life Orb on this particular team, and that's very risky. But I decided to go in and go for it. He goes for the Healing Wish, which caught me off guard. Pretty much, like, I laughed whenever I was talking to him about this. Because I was like, alright, I didn't expect that. I wanted to run a Healing Wish Pokemon. I go for a Signal Beam staying in because, once again, I'm willing to sacrifice my Jolteon here. I'm not worried about losing it. I know it's very frail. It did its job. I wasn't going to switch into another Pokemon to take a hit from this Braixon since my only wall was down. But I do get a switch back into Kreb since I did let it die. And once again, I'm pretty much safe here. It's game over. Kreb can practically take on anything that Kreb wants to take on with the Ice Beam and stuff. But unfortunately, I am locked in the Ice Beam. He went into Rotom Fan here. I don't know if it was a misclick, but obviously, I mean, that's baby food for me to take out that Rotom Fan. Down goes my biggest fan. I'm cooling off over here. And then it is his last Pokemon, Derp Doom. For this, although I could stay in and continue to Ice Beam and get not very effective damage, I figured I'd go ahead and switch out because I want to save Kreb. I go into Alien Barney, my Tyrantrum with the most awkward name. He's the most awkward Tyrantrum in the world, but he loves you, and hopefully you love him too. So I decided to switch into him just because I wanted to finish the deal here. He goes for Hidden Power, and I think it has to be Hidden Power Grass because Hidden Power Ice would have done more damage there. So I just go for an Earthquake to finish off the job with Alien Barney. Alien Barney is the victor. He gets the final kill. He gets the kill cam. And I want to thank you guys for providing feedback on the first battle. Originally I was going to talk about like life topics or whatever, but I decided I'm going to keep that on my own channel and do a little bit more casting because people get a little more amped up. I just wanted to try something different. But if you guys did enjoy this battle, make sure to give it a like to help support the series. I do tweet out on Twitter occasionally looking for battles, and sometimes I will come up with some crazy teams. You guys might see that in the future. Sometimes I do themed teams. You guys might see that in the future. And you never know what tier I am going to be playing next. It can literally be any tier. It can be Ubers, OU, Standard, just complete standard battles. All of that good fun stuff. Outside of that, guys, I love you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for your feedback, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!